Hey guys, Dr. Steve here. What I'm about to show you, what you're about to watch, is a woman breaking through a 60-year pattern in 90 minutes. This isn't 90 minutes long, but I'm showing you the formula and exactly what I walked her through in order for her to break through. And just you'll love the statement at the end that how she described her mom if she was to sum her mom up. You would be absolutely blown away. Going from a 60-year resentment pattern into birthing that into love. 90 minutes, 60-year pattern obliterated in 90. It's possible, gang. Watch it and maybe you could apply some of these concepts to help yourself out this upcoming Christmas season. Okay, well, welcome. I wanted to talk with you today about some really great breakthrough that I had with a client yesterday. And I thought, coming up to this Christmas season, if you're struggling with any particular relationships, especially ones of if there's tension between you and your parents, or you and siblings, things like that. Just to kind of give you a little bit of perspective on this 90-minute session that I did with a client yesterday or 2 days ago, and just about organizing your being around someone that is challenging to you. Now, for this particular individual, this was a challenge that she had for, I'd say 60, 58, 59, 60 years. She had this challenge. She's been cursing her mom for a long time, and very emotionally distressed and distraught. And so I wanted to pass this along because I think that there's some key concepts in here that I think could really help you this Christmas season. So here we go. So what I did with her was basically, we were kind of working on her mom. So I'll just kind of write this out and give you a little idea here. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so she had mom. And so then I first started to ask her, it's easy to go into like all the episodes and all the crap that maybe she experienced, but I didn't really want to start there. I just wanted to find out, what bothered her most, what really bothered her most about her mom, and why is she holding kind of this resentment. And so she told me the parts that bothered her, the things that bothered her. So one was verbal abuse. The second one was withheld affection. The third was it would put other family members first, other kids first. The fourth was she was treated different, meaning that, her siblings got bikes and she never got a bike. And so she felt that. And that her mom didn't trust her, especially during her teens. Okay. So then what we did was we asked her, and now this woman has kids and grandkids. And it's like we said, okay, well, what are the opposites? What are the opposites of that? And she said, encouragement. Like, you're doing a good job. And I love you. And then we had, for withheld, it was hugs and physical affection. So she wished she would have gotten some hugs. Then putting others first. Inclusive was the opposite of that. And being fair was the opposite of being treated different. And then what I say is true is the other one. So this stuff right here is the stuff that she thought was the opposite. So here's what I explained to her. I said, okay, just listen. Here's your mom. Here's your dad. Here's you. Mom, dad, you. And if you think in those ages, those very early ages of age 0 to 8, you're very impressionable. And you're developing things that you like about the family and things that you don't like. And these are particular behaviors and traits that are happening essentially to you by your authority figures. Now, what you're doing is these things actually craft your identity, your actual persona. So you take parts that you like and parts that you don't like. And guess what you do with the parts that you like as you're moving along in time? With the parts that you like, you amplify those within yourself. And the parts that you dislike, you do the opposite. Or you at least pride yourself in doing the opposite. Okay, and so you're crafting a persona. As you move along in time and space, and as you now develop your own nuclear family, then she noticed that these things that she detested in her mom, they created voids. And those voids create values. And so when we looked at all the things that she valued about herself in family, she valued encouraging and telling her grandkids and her kids that they're doing a great job. She made sure she did that. She made sure she showed them hugs and physical affection. She made sure she included all the kids. She made sure she was being fair. She made sure, excuse me, that what they said, she really listened and trusted them for what they said. And so she saw that, you know, this part of this thing that she disliked about her mom actually created things that she was really proud of to exemplify in her life, in her family life. Because part of it is the things that we don't like, we say, we're never going to do those. Now, it doesn't mean we don't do those, but it just says in our minds, we say, we're never doing those, and we're going to do essentially the opposite. And those become the values that we bring to the relationship. And so she could see, at least in this particular little first section of our work together, that her mom was solely responsible for actually creating the voids that to turn of what she actually valued and brought forth into her kids and her grandkids. And so she was like, oh my God, like, because the mind starts seeing that if you took your mom's challenging parts away, you don't have those same values. And if we just want to be loved and appreciated for who we are, and she does, you know, we see, like, I love the fact that I encourage my grandkids and kids. I love the fact that I value giving them hugs, and I value that I include them all. And I love the fact that I'm being as fair as I can possibly be. And I really value that. And oops, the person that I cursed for 60 years was actually responsible to indirectly make it that way. Holy cow. So that's kind of like mind-blowing part number one, is that these people that you detest, they have a tremendous value for you in your life. They've actually helped to build you who you are. They've helped you to construct who you are and what you value. Huge, huge. We miss that. It's unbelievable. We absolutely miss that. Then what we did was we then took and we started to rhyme off. I'm just checking my charts here. We got to about 48 ways that her mom brought encouragement to her hugs, her inclusiveness, her being fair, ways that she actually brought these pieces to her. We found about 48 of ways that she was actually supporting her. Okay, because she could only see, and she was so resentful, she could only see that her mom was just this big old challenge to her. And so when we started to see, we first loosened the grip here in the very first part to say, hold on a second, your mom's not a total devalue here. There's value for you in here. In fact, your mom's partly responsible to craft who you are, partly because of the stuff you didn't like about her. And she actually helped you to amplify these particular qualities into your emerging family. She's part of your evolution. Okay. So that softens and loosens the grip a little bit. And then she goes and finds out 48 ways in which her mom supported her in the ways that she thought her mom didn't support her. And it was astounding to her that she actually had that much support for her mom. She couldn't see it. She was too blinded by the emotional strain and stresses of the past. So then once we found the amount of support, and now we got like appreciation building here, we have appreciation building here. And as this is through a 90-minute session, as we kind of organize all this data in her mind, I said, well, what do you want to say about your mom? And here's the beauty. Here's the truth. Here's the goodness of what arises when you get all the higher centers of your brain on board and you get the heart on board, which is what we did. Here's the statement that she said. I said, what would you say if you were to describe your mom right now? And I'm just looking at my board because I kept it on from yesterday. She was a loving, giving person in her own way. That's right, because we saw that she did it in her own unique values. Helpful to others. And loved the family. That was her quote. About 90 minutes earlier, she hated her mother. She resented her mother. And if you organize the mind and pull it out of the subcortical regions of the brain, pull it out of the stress and anxiety centers of the brain, and you look at the satellite version and fill in the proper blanks, here's what she said about her mom 90 minutes later. In the first part, before we got together, I said, you sure you want to cover your mom, eh? And she's like, oh, it's going to be so emotional. Because she hated her. She hated her. She just squinched her face at the thought of her. 90 minutes later, she was a loving, giving person in her own way, helpful to others, and loved the family. And I said, if she was here right now, because she had passed away, I said, if she was here right now, what would you say to her? You know what she said? Thank you. That was it. She would say, thank you. And she just burst into tears, crying in a grateful, heart-centered, heartfelt way to say, oh my God, in 90 minutes, I took what I was blind for 60 years and saw with clarity the value that she brought to my life and how she played a role in crafting who I am today. And when we're in the heat of our emotions, we can't see it. We're blind to it. But I wanted to show this to you to demonstrate the work that I do with people, because it's not that difficult. This was 90 minutes of intense questioning, asking the right questions. And she had someone, me, in her corner that knew how to organize the information for her so that she could see the truth, the beauty, and the goodness in her mom. And, and this is the possibility, if you're ready and willing to do the work on someone, that this is all it is. There's no drudging up. We didn't have to talk about traumas. We didn't have to talk about any of that stuff. Nothing other than just seeing the reality for what it is and having someone that knows blind spots, that knows how to cover the terrain. And that's possible for anybody to do, to transform how they're seeing a relationship. Just most people are too addicted to their distress. Most people, and so that's why she's 62, 63 years old. She was just done with it. She knew, she was like, she's played it out. She's thought about it a million different ways. And she's just tired of the resentment because she saw that it was building on her chronic pain, her fibromyalgic states. And she just had enough of it. And so when you're ready to have enough of something and you're ready to do away with it, this is the work that's perfect for you, because within literally a 90-minute span, we helped her to break through a 60-year pattern in 90 minutes when she was ready. So, there is a readiness. If you sense that you're ready, you're 90 minutes away. You're 2 hours away, literally, from breaking through something that's been nagging at you for so long. So I hope this is helpful. I really do hope that you could apply some of these concepts towards moving towards Christmas time, leaning into relationships, because this is essentially what we're after. Look how the clarity of this statement, she was a loving, giving person in her own way and helpful to others and loved the family. Thank you. What? It's beautiful. Anyways, I hope this is helpful, and good luck with the Christmas relationships. And I hope you enjoyed this. So we'll talk soon.